Hi, I'm Bruna. This is Maria. We are the owners of the Knitting Loft. We are a mother and daughter team.
Yep. For those of you who don't know, the Knitting Loft is a local yarn shop in Toronto, Canada, and we opened in September 2018. We have an integrated cafe, and our focus is on natural fibers, rustic, and hand-dyed yarns from all over the world that my mom has specifically curated. So we've been looking to start this podcast for a while, and although we've recorded some videos together, actually starting this channel has been tough. It's a little nerve-wracking to think of what we're gonna do, but you know, with everything going on in the world, now seems like the perfect time to be connecting more. And really what we want to do, at least for the time being with this show, is inspire you maybe with the things that we're making and our customers are making. So you'll see a lot of knitted stuff that we've made, or again, our community has made, that they're allowing us to share. And we just want to show you stuff that we're working on and are using our yarns with that'll maybe fuel your next projects. It's kind of hard not to get inspired in this space when you're here surrounded by this incredible product, and then customers are walking in with all of these projects and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to cast that on right now. There have been so many interactions where somebody's in the store and they're like, oh, I need help picking this project, and they show me and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I end up starting to pick colors for myself while I'm supposed to be helping them. So it's all good fun, but just to say, it's very hard not to be inspired and go a little nuts in this space. So
very true.
So yeah, we would love to show you some of the things we've created since we've opened. To go off of our story, I'm going to try and show you my evolution of where I started to where I am today.
That's actually a good idea, so they can see where you were at the beginning to now.
Yeah.
Because it's incredible. Like,
it's very exciting to me, like even you'll see it. I'm looking at it on the table spread out right now, but it is exciting to me looking at where I did start to where I am today. So very exciting.
Very exciting.
So would you like me to start? Would you like to start?
Well, you start.
Okay. So when we open the shop, this is this cowl. We don't have it posted yet, or I might post it for the episode. We'll see. But this cowl is a really good example of where my skill level was at when we started the shop. So I would still make something like this today. It's just a good representation of where I started. So this cowl consists of knit and purl stitches, and then there are some yarn overs. That was about all I could do. I didn't even know make one right, make one left. I didn't know how to block. So this was the first project I took on here, and this was using our Samilla by BC Garn, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was something that got me going in like a simple, easy kind of way.
That was fun. A lot of women got into that.
Yeah.
They were picking their own stitch patterns.
It's true, because each section, so what's cool about this is that each section you pick one ball for each section, or one color, and you pick your stitch. So for this section here, I did stockinette. This I think was double moss stitch, and this was just an eyelet section. So you get to pick your colors and everything. It's really easy to do. One of our customers, Betty, actually designed the pattern for us. She was so sweet. Wilma got on it with knitting a few of these, and it was just really fun and something simple to create. So that was my starting point. Then someone had come in, I think it was Debbie, I won't say her last name just in case, but she had come in looking for colors for the shift. So this is the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and it uses spin cycle yarn dyed in the wool. And she had come in with the pattern saying, oh, I want to make this project and I want to pick some colors. And I immediately fell in love with it. Like, I was
100%.
This project for me was the catalyst of where I am today, I feel, because it was it was a big challenge for me. It was my first step into real knitting, I feel like, where in this project I learned make one right, make one left. I learned slip stitch color work. This was the first project I have ever blocked in my life. So there were a lot of firsts with this project, and I fell hard down the rabbit hole. I had made a post on Instagram telling everyone that I was going to cast on and if anyone wants to join. And so a few people did. Michelle, Angie, Shirley did it after, and we knit this together. I know.
I think I'm going to, though.
Well, it's hard right now because we're like sample knitting, right? So I was explaining that to someone that a lot of these projects I've made, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm strictly sample knitting for the store, I would have made like multiple versions already like this.
But I actually tried this one on. I was wearing like I think a little jacket that day, and I just put it on. It was so cute. Yeah. I fell in love. I said, I have to knit myself one of these. It is so
cute. And I'm going to put up some combos for you to look at for the different things that you can do with it. But there are just so many versions you can make this cowl out of. You'll never see the same one. That's the really cool thing about this shift cowl, is that you will never see an identical shift cowl if it's been made with spin cycle dyed in the wool. It is just so unique. The yarn is just incredible to work with. Like, seeing how it's a marled barber pole yarn, for those of you who haven't seen it before. So when you're working with it, in each strand there are 2 colors, but then it's also a gradient. So there is so much variation in this yarn.
Spin cycle's amazing.
It's incredible. So one thing I will say about this shift cowl is when you are picking colors, usually you want to go with high contrast so that you can see the beauty of the work you're doing. However, there are a ton of subtle combos that you can go with if you don't want to go too crazy.
You could even use the same color if somebody's just wanting to do like a little accent piece.
Yes, absolutely. And then the other thing I want to say about spin cycle is that if you ever see a color that you love so much, get that color immediately, because you will likely never see it again. With hand-dyed yarn, each lot tends to be different. With spin cycle, they vary drastically. So when you see a color in spin cycle that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this, get it on the spot, because again, it's unlikely you'll find that again.
That's why I order like tons and tons of the Truth Bomb.
I have quite a stash of the
Truth Bomb. Cycle. I have at least 7 different Truth Bombs, and they're so different. Yeah. Just stunning.
It's seriously an incredible yarn. Last thing I will recommend with it is that if you're concerned if you're shopping online and you're concerned about the color, I would always request a picture, regardless of where you're ordering it from, because the lots vary so much. So if you're concerned that you're ordering, I don't know, Devilish Grin, but it might be very different from what you're thinking, just request for a quick picture so you could see that specific dye lot and make sure you're happy with it before you get it shipped out to you. So that was my shift cowl adventure. Yeah. Like I said, that was the catalyst for me. It just, when I saw, like, look at what I created and what I'm capable of making with my hands, it sent me down this whole rabbit hole of wanting to learn everything and knit everything. So since then, it's really, for me, been about wanting to learn as much as I can. So the next project I wanted to learn were socks. And I did a class, we did this test class with Angie and Steph, 2 girls from our shop, and Steph and I learned how to make socks for the first time while Angie was teaching us. So these were the socks. Angie knit these ones. Mine are at home. I used the Grinch colorway in our Biscotte sock yarn. The striping on it's amazing. But I remember taking this class and learning how to knit a sock. This heel section, this is the heel flat method. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this turning 3D. This is turning into an actual foot, and I'm so excited, and I was freaking out. So yeah, I learned socks next. I want a whole drawer of handmade socks, and that was the next thing I learned, which was really fun. And this is our Wonka colorway. I believe we are sold out. It was very popular. And we have a lot of other fun colors in Biscotte, which is available on our website. Let's continue with the next thing I learned.
Yeah, that one's really cute, Marie.
So this is the Glacier Park Owl, and
I was so proud of you when you did this one.
I was so proud of me. I remember I had cast it on the rib, and I was starting to do the ribbing, and I was like, oh, I need to put these the stitch markers in to prep for the color work. And when I had set up all of the stitch markers for the color work, I remember taking this picture of myself, and I was just so excited. Like, I'm about to do stranded color work.
Yeah.
I've wanted to for so long, because I have seen you doing stranded color work for so long, and the projects you would make were just unbelievable. And I was always like, how do you do that? It's so amazing. So this was recommended, I forget from who, but this was recommended to me. I think I mentioned that it's the Glacier Park Owl by Caitlin Hunter. And originally it was designed in the tinned by Woolfolk, which we didn't have at the time. And I will drop some combo options here so that you could see the different combos you can make this out of with the tinned. But I made this using our Belle yarn from Artville and Leo and Roxy yarn from when they were here for a trunk show. So I was super happy with the finished piece. This was my first stranded color work project, so I did learn a lot in it.
It's really, really pretty though. It's very, very pretty.
I learned a lot about stranded color work in this, so I didn't realize that I should be going up a needle size when I get to the color work section. And so this pulls in a little bit. So if I were to do it again, I would definitely go up a needle size for the body.
You would listen to the instructions.
Absolutely. Do you mean listen to you?
Yes. Listen to your mom.
So that was my first stranded color work project. I had so much fun with it. The thing about doing new things in each project for me has just been making me want to get to the next one quicker and quicker, because I'm like, oh, this is so fun. What am I going to do next? So the next thing I did end up doing was a top-down sweater, and I had never made a top-down sweater before. So I had done like flat sew together stuff, again working within my skill level of knit and purl, and I was seeing all of our customers and my mom all of these top down sweaters that looked so incredible that I was super intimidated to do. So we did a sweater knit along, and we hosted it through the shop on Ravelry, and I had picked the Tecumseh sweater. So this was my first top down sweater, and I had a lot of fun picking the colors for this. I also decided to go with short sleeves, because when I had tried it on, it was half done and it was sleeveless, obviously, and I actually loved how it looked without sleeves, so I ended up doing that. We have some combos too that you can make this Tecumseh in. It was accessible for me because I had just learned how to do stranded color work, and my mom helped me out with, I learned short rows for the first time on this project, so I don't know if you can see, but the back here they do the short rows. So my mom taught me German short rows on this. I still to this day ask my mom for a recap on short rows. I can't seem to memorize it, but I have fun every time I do it. You taught me how to pick up the sleeve stitches and everything, and casting on the sleeves, which I've never done before. So there was a lot of new techniques in this for me as well. that you helped me through. And okay, so the last thing I want to show you that on this journey of mine is my chrysalis shawl. It's actually called My Chrysalis by Lavanya Patricella.
Is that brioche?
It is.
It's so beautiful.
So the next thing that I learned.
That is so pretty, Marie.
The next thing that I learned was brioche. So we had a class here teaching brioche, and I decided to take it. Actually, no, so it was a beginner class that I missed, and the next class we had was an advanced brioche class, and a bunch of my friends from the store were taking it, and I was like, oh, but I didn't learn. So Wilma actually was like, who was taking the class, was like, I could teach you, and I could teach you right now so that you can take the class with us. I was like, okay.
That's our Wilma.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Wilma. She's like, sit down. I will show you right now. So she showed me simple brioche, and she taught me the day before the advanced class, and she's amazing. I totally picked it up, and I went into that advanced class and learned how to increase and decrease. I still struggle a lot with fixing brioche mistakes. It's a total nightmare if I make a mistake. But this was an amazing first brioche project because it goes in and out from garter stitch to just simple brioche where you're knitting and purling brioche stitch. So it wasn't too intense and it wasn't too scary. This was done with Ching Fiber Melted Suri and the Ching Fiber Merino Singles. And this was the original colorway that Lavanya Patricella did hers in. So I totally loved that.
She's amazing with her patterns.
Well, Clara was the one who actually showed me this. So this was another one of those situations where someone came in and was like, oh, I want to make this. And then I was like, I need to make this, and I started picking colors while she was here shopping.
That's what you do every day. Yeah.
So I ended up going with the original, and we do have some combos to show you that you can make this in. If you are super new to brioche or a total brioche beginner, you can totally do this. And yeah, so that I feel like is the quickest kind of snapshot of my journey so far.
It's very, very good.
And I feel like it's a little nerve-wracking, like to think I'm a yarn shop owner, you know, and I felt like I had a lot to prove for myself as somebody who really didn't know much about knitting. And I think it's...
But where your strong points was with doing all the administration and all the... Yes.
And I love it. Like, I love marketing and the things I work on. And so I really do enjoy it. But
I'm super lucky. Really lucky.
Well, I just... Like I said, I felt like I had a lot to prove. And so I think it says a lot for people who are wanting to learn how to knit or who haven't tried that technique that they've been wanting to try, is that it's so doable and it's really fun once you just go for it, because there's always going to be that learning curve, but then once you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, look at what I did. So it's really cool, and
very proud of you.
Thank you. So I have just taken up a lot of air in the room. Would you like to?
Well, I don't have a lot to show, so I wasn't as prepared as you are.
That's okay.
So what I think I'll do is I'll just show a couple of things. We'll start off with this one here from...
I love that so much.
Gilpin. I don't know if I can show it very, very good, but so this is a pattern...
the GeoYo?
Yeah, it's the GeoYo.
I'll put the name up.
I think I kept, sorry that I'm turning my head away, but I don't know if they can see it properly, but you can link everything.
Yeah, I'll put the name.
And so this uses Gilpin yarn, which is 100% Scottish lamb's wool. We carry this yarn. So I wanted to show something about this yarn.
And this is your
So I just pulled out two very nice bright colors so that you can see it a bit better. So I'm not sure if you can see it. So it's two strands, And by the looks of it, a lot of people, they'll look at this yarn and go, oh, I'm not sure I feel like knitting.
The yarn, like,
yeah, because it's kind of loosely plied.
And it's crimped, like, it has a crimp.
It has a crimp to it. But I can assure you that once you start knitting with this yarn, you will be waking up in the morning, running to start knitting again, because this is a dream to knit. It blooms while you're knitting. After you block it is out of this world. It becomes the most gorgeous fabric.
It does have incredible stitch definition, and I find, like, when we show people this sample after showing them the yarn, they're so surprised that this is how it knits up because of that crimped look that it has.
Yeah. So just to show you, this is a bottom up. So you're starting with the 2 sleeves, and then you're knitting up, and then you're attaching here, and then you go into the yoke.
Is that hard?
This was a lot of fun. The entire time I was knitting, I almost
so nice.
I was almost in tears when it was done. I literally started picking new colors to make a whole new sweater, and then I said, I better not. That's kind of silly of me to do that. But as you can see, it's really, really a pretty sweater. And it looks good on everyone who tries it on. It would
be nice too with I think they wear it like that, or but if you have like a collar, like a button up underneath with a collar, pretty. Would be really nice.
So everybody that knows me here in the shop knows that Dye-Gilpin is my baby. So this is no joke. So when I come into the shop every single day, I go straight to Dye-Gilpin and I make sure all the balls are in order, and when one's sideways, I give everybody a stare. Marie?
It's so true.
It's so true. I totally love this yarn.
It is so soft too, texture-wise. It's a very soft knit, so it doesn't have any a crisp kind of feel to it. So it's very soft, but at the same time has such a beautiful structure to it. So
I'll show this quickly. I don't have a lot of info in front of me. I know the pattern
I'll put it up, yeah.
So this is one ball pattern from Yarntillery. It's lace, yeah. So one ball does this because it's lace weight. It's 100% cashmere. The name of the pattern is Fizz B. You can get it on Ravelry.
Did you put these beads on?
I put the beads on. It's really, really pretty. It's one ball. This was a lot of fun.
Wow.
And it's really pretty. So you're basically just,
Oh, that looks so cute on you.
Yeah, you're just meant to sort of like wear it. Like you could wear it a few different ways.
Mom,
you can
looks adorable.
Yeah,
on
it's
you.
really pretty. Like you could wear it like with the. Look at me showing off my okay, you can't see my cleavage or anything. Okay, that's okay.
But that looks super cute on you. You should wear that.
Yeah, so this was a lot of fun.
How long did that? That's a lace weight.
That's a lace weight, and there was leftover. There literally was by the time I was done. So it's amazing to think that one ball of yarn does that. So you can do this in any color. They show it in the picture with a beautiful blue. I chose black.
How long did that take you?
I don't think too long, to be honest. I can't say because I kind of went in between patterns.
Was it?
I ripped it apart a couple of times because I kept going off my lace. So I don't know why I had all my markers in, but I just kept going off. So this last time I did it, I went really super slow there.
I do love that you chose black because it's so versatile. Like you could wear it with so much. Was it hard knitting with the black? Like
a little bit, but not too bad because it's lace weight, so there's not a lot of the black. Like so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that I grabbed to show was our Tokyo shawl.
Yeah, this
was knit by Vanessa. Vanessa is an amazing knitter.
Amazing.
So she did this, and we sell the kits for this.
Like
so this is
so huge.
Yeah. So this is has 3 colors. Hold on, we can both get in there. Yeah. Hold on. There you go. It's pretty good. So
really
it comes
good.
in 3 shades. There's a light, medium, and dark. This is the light version.
Do we have the light version?
Yes. Vanessa made them. She got them all together for us because she knows
they're
exactly all the colors. And
that's okay.
she said it was a lot of fun. This is basically knit with 2 strands. It's going to be with the alpaca one and spinny.
Cool.
And I'm gonna just say it clear now because we carry the line, and I know that the way everyone pronounces it is a certain way, and so here at the Knitting Loft we pronounce it as Isager Yarns. I know the proper way of pronouncing it is Isaiah, I think, but we refer to it as Isager Yarns. Lenny from Isager says that we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine. Using that pronunciation.
On texture for this, is there mohair, or you said alpaca 1?
No, so the alpaca 1 is held throughout the whole.
So
it's
that's
the same shade, so it's held throughout the whole entire project, and then you're changing the spinny. Yes, all the different colors, and they're gorgeous pops of color, and
it does have a bit of a rustic feel to it, but not like a classic woolly wool because of that alpaca running through it, which is really soft. It's not that rough of a feel.
So it is like a very, very pretty.
Well, I have wore this with like no sleeves, so it was directly on my skin, and it didn't bother me at all. No. And
not
it's
once
very
you block
warm.
it, And the alpaca's quite soft too, so that helps,
Cool.
So that's it for me. I'll show a lot more the next time around if you can convince me to do another podcast.
Well, now we're doing it, so it has to be consistent.
Well, I could always throw in Wilma or Vanessa.
So I have, after that whole slew of projects I showed, I do have a couple whips to show.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Let's see them.
Talking about...
I do too, but they're all at home. I'm a private knitter, I think.
Okay. Well, talking about learning brioche and pushing yourself to do things out of your comfort zone. My friend Angie convinced me to cast this on. It was kind of like a FOMO moment because she had shown me this. So this is called the Sizzle Pop, designed by Knit Graffiti. And Angie had showed it to me. This was last summer, and I was like, I don't think I want to knit that. And then her and Steph were like, okay, well, we're knitting it. And then Wilma was like, I'm knitting it. And then I was like, well, I have to knit it now too. So we all picked combos from Le Bien Aimé yarn that we had for our pop-up last summer. Yeah. So we all picked our own combos. So this is in Le Bien Aimé, the merino singles. And
oh wow, that is so beautiful.
Yeah, so this is my Everest for sure, because although there are like sections of simple brioche, and when I say simple brioche, like I just mean you're doing brioche knit, brioche purl, you have to really concentrate when you're doing this. And I have said it before when I posted on Instagram that I actually like this project for the extra stressful days that I've had, because it really helps me take my mind off of everything, because you can't focus on anything else but this when you're knitting it. So there's like an extremely intense stitch in here that like keeps you on your toes. I forget what it's even called now. I think it's the brioche 4-stitch decrease or something, which is just like, Angie called it death row. So it's definitely like one of the most complicated patterns I have ever done. It makes me feel really good doing it, and I know I'm going to feel amazing when I finish this. So I'm the last one still working on this. Steph is done, Angie is done, and now I have to finish mine. So I am going to be working on that.
And that is beautiful.
Thank you. And I am currently, so the Sizzle Pop is going to be the next thing I finish after these. So right now I'm going down a baby knitting rabbit hole. So one of the girls here, Deb, she is pregnant, and she knows I'm knitting this, so it's okay if she sees it. This is a lacy romper. It was in her baby bundle, so I thought it was so adorable. I have it just pinned right now. I have to block it flat because it is knit in 2 pieces. And then you knit these straps. There are going to be little buttons here and down here, and it was just So fun. This is called the Lacy Romper by Pippi Eve, I believe.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And this was my first baby project ever. Rebecca helped me articulate it by saying that it's just so satisfying because it knits up so quick, and when you've picked something that's really fun to do, it's just so exciting and satisfying. So that Lacy Romper pattern is really cool because it comes with 2 patterns in one. So it has this diamond design, and this size that I made is the 12-month-old, so that Deb can get use out of it for a little while. And then I decided I wanted to do the second design, and this will be a sample for the store. And this is the smallest size. This, I think, is so 3 months old, and it's so cute. I'm using our Rowan Summerlight DK, which is 100% cotton. It's actually a beautiful cotton to work with, so soft. The stitch definition is awesome. It's really nice to work with. So these little baby rompers are just making my life right now. I love them so much. And yeah, so I'm pretty much working through what I started to call the Whip-pocalypse. I'm trying to get rid of... Do you like that?
Yeah, I do. Because when you go into your to one of your rooms there that you made as your yarn.
Yeah. So I pretty much I have been wanting to knit the rose cardigan since Angie brought her. Angie is so, like, what's the word? She's very influential. Everything, so much that she's knit, I'm like, hey, I need to make that now. And she's just, so she brought in her rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and she knit it using our, we have the Riverside
Studio, yeah.
And what's it's
the
sock?
Colors?
Something
Oh,
sock.
we have the
Why can't I think of the name
neither
right
can
now?
I. And I ordered it.
Yeah, so anyways.
It's the sock yarn anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she used all of these grays and
blues.
Grays, white, gray and cream. And
she
has
any blues in there?
She keeps her Ravelry so up to date. Like, she's just a model example of a good Ravelrer or whatever you call
Something we should be doing.
Yeah, we got to get better at that. So her profile is at TV Angie, and her rose cardigan is on there if you want to see it. It's so nice. So I've been wanting to make it since then. She knit, I think it was extra small or small, and I had tried it on and it fit me. And it felt so nice, and I felt so good in it, so confident in it, and I was like, I need to make that. So it's been a while that I've had my eye on that, and I pretty much said to myself, I'm going to finish all of my whips, and I'm going to cast that rose cardigan on. And I have picked my combo and everything. I am using Cozy Posy yarn in her fancy base. I am like, I think I might cast on before I finish everything, because I'm just...
Of course.
Well, and I just,
you wouldn't be you if you didn't do that.
Well, especially right now with everything going on, like, I just want something that gets me really excited, and so that I like casting something on always gives me that feeling of like, I'm so excited. And so I might start that sooner than anticipated, but we shall see. So so
maybe we'll just end it to just talk about, hopefully we're still gonna launch in June, our new space. And,
yes. So okay, so as of right now, for those of you who have been in the shop, and we'll do a tour in one of these episodes, but those who have been in the shop right now, we have this main floor and a lower level, and we have we secured the space last fall, which is the shop next door. So we are actually working on expanding our physical space we're really, really excited about it. So we're in the process of designing. We're almost done the new classroom space, because that side also has a lower level. So we're revamping our classroom space. We'll have a stock room for the first time.
I'm so excited.
So excited, because we are bursting at the seams, and it's just getting hard to keep up with. Like, keeping organized at the same time. And so to have our stock room, I'm just like over the moon excited about.
Because we have a lot of overstock, a lot,
So, and we're going to blow out one or both of these walls. We'll have more seating space when we can finally get back to sitting with each other and hanging out. We'll have more room to put more product in, and we're going to create a whole grand reopening. So when we opened in September 2018, we did a grand opening. And so we will have to close for a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably a couple of weeks, I think.
Which we will keep you posted about. And then when we're ready for the reveal, we're going to do a huge party and everything. So we are very excited about that.
And we have a lot
totally
of new
forgot about
companies
that
coming in.
Update. I know, very exciting. Very exciting. So I think that is it. I talked way too much in this episode. But I think it's a good starting place. We did it.
Yeah. I was a good student, right?
You were fantastic.
Okay,
so I guess thank you for watching. Not I guess. Thank you very much for watching. We would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you liked the video, maybe share on your Instagram that we have started this channel. And we would love for you to comment below. Tell us, what are you currently working on, or your favorite recently finished object? We'd love to check it out, and we can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.